Hi everyone, it's Erin from the Provincial Farmhouse. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to make some Christmas table decor out of some thrift shop finds. For today's projects, we're going to be using the Noel Paint Inlay, the Jingle mould and the Holly Lane mould. We're also going to be using the amazing casting resin, and you can find all these products on our website, theprovincialfarmhouse.com.au. For our first project, we're working on these little terracotta candlesticks. After cleaning them, I gave each candlestick 2 coats of Dixie Belle's drop cloth chalk mineral paint. While these were drying, I made some amazing casting resin and poured it into my Holly Lane mould, particularly the swag design. I also poured some into the forward-facing deer on the Jingle mould. Amazing casting resin has about a work time of 2 to 3 minutes, and it is cured within 10 to 15. When my castings were ready, I pulled them out of the mould, and then I used hot glue to attach the Holly Lane swag. Now I had to bend and manipulate this design quite a bit, but the resin remains flexible a few minutes after you take it out of the mould. I also trimmed off this little excess piece to use for later. The reason I used hot glue as opposed to my standard wood glue is that the resin needed to be attached quite quickly so that it would hold the shape. I'm also attaching the little reindeer to the front and bending him around as well. I'm also then going to attach that little piece that I cut off up to the top rim of the candlestick. I'm carefully using a sharp knife to cut off any of my messy hot glue. I'm repeating the process with the second candlestick, taking my molds out and then immediately shaping it to the candlestick and hot gluing it on. I also decided to cast and add the little bow from the Jingle mould to the front of the reindeer on both of the candlesticks. Again, I'm adding the bow as soon as I take it out of the mould so it's flexible. Next, I'm coming in again with another coat of Dixie Belle's drop cloth chalk mineral paint. I'm also peeling off any excess little bits of hot glue that are on the candlesticks before I paint there. You can find a detailed product list in the description of our video. Next, I'm adding Dixie Belle's Iron Patina paint. Now you want to put down 1 coat of this, let it dry, and then come in with your second coat and apply the green spray while it's wet. Now I'm just picking a few different places where I think that age might naturally occur, and I'm adding the patina paint there. Here I'm adding the second coat of patina paint, and I have my green spray ready to pour into a little cup and use a separate brush to apply it where the wet patina paint is. You don't want to mix up your brushes and accidentally activate your patina paint. That green activation spray is going to turn this paint into a beautiful rust color. The rust will develop and show within about 6 to 12 hours and will continue to evolve. Here you can see it's quite dark, so I've decided that I will come in, wipe back certain areas, and also add some more drop cloth to tone it down. I will repeat the same process on the other candlestick. Keep watching to see how it turns out. Our next project is this little wooden drawer that I found in an op shop. I thought it would make a great table centerpiece. After cleaning and removing the hardware, I'm adding 2 coats of Dixie Belle's drop cloth chalk mineral paint. Next, we're going to be using the Noel Paint Inlay. The Noel Paint Inlay has 8 pages of gorgeous Christmas designs and is perfect if you've never tried the inlays before, because there's lots of little projects that you can achieve with these beautiful designs. I've already done a few projects using the Noel Paint Inlay, so make sure you head to my channel and check those other videos out. We're going to use this little black and white garland design, so I'm cutting it and saving the other piece for later. I'm brushing on a nice thick coat of Dixie Belle's drop cloth, and then while the paint is still wet, I'm pressing my paint inlay, paint side down, into the wet paint. I'm smoothing the inlay down with my fingers and a brayer to make sure that I've got good contact. Then I'm coming in with a mister and a damp cloth and pressing the design down. When the inlay is dry, I'm misting the surface again and using a cloth to sponge off the excess, and then I'm going to very gently pull the inlay back. If you have any resistance, just dampen it again. I'm going to save this piece for future use. Next, I'm sealing my inlay with a 50-50 mix in a spray bottle and then brushing on a clear coat when that's dry. I'm now making up my amazing casting resin and pouring it into the Holly Lane mould. For this, I'm just using a little bit of holly and the 2 pine cones. When the castings are ready, I'm taking them out and I'm going to use a strong glue to attach them to the side of my little box. I'm adding the same molds to the other end of the box as well. I'm then coming in with a coat of Dixie Belle's drop cloth and working it into all of the details. I'm doing this to both ends. I've sealed my entire piece and now I'm coming in with Dixie Belle's Grunge Glaze to age up the piece. I'm wiping it back in certain areas, going heavier in others, and adding it to bring out the details. This is quite a weathered box, so I loved how it brought out the dints and the little nails. And I'm also going to be adding it to the ends to bring out the details in the molds that I added. I love how the glaze highlights all the amazing details that are in the IOD molds. When the glaze is dry, I'm coming in with a fine grit sandpaper and scuffing around the edges a little bit to age the piece. And here's the finished products. I love my little centerpiece, and I think that the molds have really transformed those plain little candlesticks. I love how the patina paint has really aged the candlesticks, and I think it's just amazing that those paint inlays can transform something as simple as a drawer. I hope this has maybe inspired you to give this a try. I'd love it if you could hit that like button. Let me know what you think of this in the comments, and I would love it if you could hit that subscribe button. You can find all the products that I used in this video on our website, theprovincialfarmhouse.com.au. Thanks for watching.